Hi, this is Roger. Thanks for dropping by. I'm sure you're all fed up with the garden videos, but unfortunately today I've left it late enough that the sun's got round. It's currently 28 degrees in the grow room, so I'm not working in that. So unless we get a complete change of heart in the weather, which we may have, then I haven't really got anything on the orchid front for today. Apart from perhaps we could have a quick look at the cymbidiums, although that's going to be my next species that we look at for the Sunday chat. So it is just a quick look, basically to say yes, everything's growing okay. We've got new growths pushing on nicely, and well, I suppose 5 or 6 weeks time we might start seeing some spikes. Who knows? Might even be able to see one now. Not sure. Anyway, as far as the garden is concerned, I took the advice of somebody and I actually dragged a bag of the mulch out of the back of the car onto the ground and then used what used to be my Vander bucket to bring it round in small loads, so that I didn't have to lift anything heavy. It's a pain in the absolute arse to work with because it's an absolute solid block in the bag and it doesn't want to break down. The easiest way to do it would be to tip the block out of the bag and like break it up with a spade or something, but then I'd have to clear up the mess. That still may be better for the next bag that I do. That is one bag. So we've got along the back there, basically I pulled the nettles up through it. I don't know whether by burying them they would have died quicker, but they have been sprayed. They are dying back already. If you think of how much I've covered with one bag, 3 bags is too much, but it won't be too much because once I've covered everything I'll obviously go back and make it deeper in places. But I've tried to leave the crowns of plants sticking out. I mean, these are the primroses down here, you know, sort of geranium, ferns, the foxgloves up the back there and there. So I've tried to leave the, you know, the plants not buried, basically. The base of the plants are sort of okay. And yeah, I'm glad I got the small grade. That's the small grade, believe it or not. I hate to think what the large grade would be like, because that looks pretty big and chunky to me, but it is quite fibrous as well, so it's a combination, so it should do the job. And the beauty of it will be that weeds will stick out like a sore thumb on that surface, you know, so any weeds that do get a hold will be easily spotted and therefore removed. So yeah, I'm not doing any more now. My legs are quite bad from yesterday's work, and that's just going to add to it. While I move around it seems okay, but when I sit down, standing up from the sitting position is painful. So rather than having a back problem, we've got knee and leg trouble this time round. You know, things twist around. My back's fine. Well, at the moment. So I just spotted a big weed that I missed. We'll have you now. At least they come out easy. Yes, so that's what it's going to look like all over the bed when I've finished, and weeds will show out easily, and the plants that have been planted, apart from things like bulbs that have died back completely, we won't see those till the spring, and they'll poke up their nice fresh foliage through that, you know, surface. The reason I wanted to get some of it done and have a bit of a sweep up here is there's heavy rain forecast into tomorrow, so probably we'll get a shower. Weather forecast never seems to get it right for me, but it looks like a wet and windy weekend. I've cancelled Hannah for this weekend and she's coming down the following weekend, and hopefully we'll get some better weather. And the other good news is that the landlord, I got the quote from the guy who came to look at the bottom of the garden and all the mess, all the trees and the overhanging stuff. Got a quote from him yesterday evening, so I took some pictures of the state of play, photos, and sent those off to the agent with the quotation this morning, and they got back to me straight away saying that they'd been in touch with the landlord, and the landlord is happy to reimburse me for half of the bill. So that's all sorted now. It's in the hands of the tree guy. I'm waiting for him to get back and book a date to come and do the work. Hopefully sometime next week. That would be nice. But, you know, I mean, he may be a busy guy. It might be a month before he can come and do it. But we shall see. So there we go, an update. And I'm afraid, sorry about this, but that's all you're going to get today, because I can't work in that grow room in that sort of temperature. I'm already quite exhausted from what I've done over the last couple of days. So I think it might be tennis time again. And then tomorrow morning, as it's proposed to be a wet day, we won't be doing anything outside. The rain hopefully will water everything. I won't even need to come out and do that. So I can start early tomorrow morning in the grow room before it gets hot, and we'll get some stuff done. Now tomorrow officially is the Project Orchids video, but what I will do is I will do that as a short video, because it's just an update, and I'll do another separate orchid video as well, and then we'll have another one on Saturday, and then we'll get on to our Sunday chat. So normality will return. I mean, putting the rest of this on here is not like a news item. You've seen what it's going to look like. When it's finished, you know, we'll do the garden walk and everything, and by then hopefully the trees will have been done down the bottom of the garden, my bonsai staging will have been set up, and you know, everything's going to be looking the way I want it in the garden. We shall see. So anyway, there we go. And the red admirals are virtually permanently in the garden now. Every time I walk, like if I walk down to the shed, I disturb one from somewhere. So they, you know, seem to be butterflies around now. We do with a few more species, but maybe we'll have to wait for that. Rumour has it that the butterflies are suffering this year as a result of this year, and compounded by last year's heat waves and droughts. You know, if the butterflies hatch out and their nectar plants have died off early because of a drought and heat, they've got nothing to eat, and they don't breed very well, if at all. It's the same with long periods of wet weather, you know. So, and we did have a wet, cold spring, so, you know. Anyway, so that's where I am at the moment. Weeded, and slowly but surely I will get this mulch done, so that the plants that I planted will show, apart from, like I said, the bulbs have died back into the ground, so we won't see those till next year. Those that have survived, and they should come up next year. We'll see how we go. Right, see you next time. Thanks for dropping by.